we might have babies. All of a sudden this milk is out. So I'm thinking we may have babies today. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Are we gonna have a baby? So I'm gonna leave her locked in just for precautionary matters because she doesn't need to be around Leroy and she needs her privacy during labor. So, wow. Gonna have babies today or tomorrow. Today is Tuesday. And I've got hay all over me. Imagine that. So I came out here to let the animals out and I noticed that she had a sack full of milk. And it seems like every time this happens. Hello, we have an old video. I'm just playing. I'm trying to figure all this out. How are y'all this morning? Good morning. No, that's an old video. She's already had her babies. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do all this. It won't let me upload videos, but like a 15 or minute video. I got to get Kayla to look at it. I don't know why it does that. So I just thought I'd play a video for y'all. It was old. It was from February. No, it was from, when did she have that baby? It was from November, I think. Why are my glasses so messed up? Are y'all doing okay this morning? We're going to get started here in a minute. I was just going to allow some people to join. I feel my brain feels a little scatterbrained this morning. This is the deal. Something happened this weekend between Shane and I wrote, as soon as it happened, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I need to talk about Monday. And so I wrote it down in my notes in my phone. And now I'm trying to remember the story. I'm like, I've done forgot the story. So I'm trying to, maybe as I begin to talk about it, maybe the story will come to me, to my brain. Do y'all ever do that? Like something will happen and then you walk away and you feel mad about it. And then you're like, okay, I forgot what I was mad about. Do you ever do that? I do that a lot. Like I forget, I guess, I don't know if it's ADHD, but like something will happen and then with somebody, and then I totally forget what happened. And I forget why I have anxiety, or I forget why I have stress. I'm like, I have no idea. I have no idea why I'm mad, but I'm mad. All right. Do y'all like, listen, is this not the cutest sweatshirt you've ever seen? Compound did good with this sweatshirt. I said, I'm going to wear it. I thought you can yes, you can. I think that you can like a video on YouTube. You can? No, you can't. Oh, okay. My BFF Jonathan's here. Hey, I hope I can say this, Jonathan. I talked to you guys about Jonathan before. I think I've seen Jonathan one time in my life, but I love him. I just love him. I don't know. We hit it off from day one, but he agreed to help me with some of Shishi's babies. And also Tiny Honey Farm agreed to help me with some of Shishi's babies. It depends on how many she has and how many Jonathan wants to help me with. I was going to raise one or two of them myself, but I got my hands full with my dad. So I knew there was no way I could raise 10 or 15 piglets. So I have got some backup help, but I will, once she has her babies, I will give you Jonathan's page and Tiny Honey Farms page on helping me raise them so y'all can keep up with them. All right, let's get this party. Okay, let me try to remember this whole story. I'm brain dead. Let me take my glasses off because y'all be talking about stuff and I'll be trying to read the messages and then I'll get sidetracked. Okay. Do you ever have a moment where you just want to feel love? Like, I'm talking about like a feeling, like you want to go back to high school where you have that giddy feeling in your stomach and you're like so in love, like when you first date someone and that giddy feeling. You know what I'm talking about? Like you just feel like I just want to feel in love. Like I just want like my spouse to be like ripped up, excited to be married to me, or you know what I'm talking about? You just feel needy. Like maybe it's being high maintenance. I don't know, but I was feeling this weekend. I did not have tours. I did not have tours this weekend. So I was feeling like I wanted to be giddy. I felt like I want to go on a date and go get ice cream and be in love and everything is great. Like that. Maybe that's a girl thing. I don't know. If you're a guy watching me, you might not feel like that, but I was just having one of those moments. It's not very often that I get moments like that because Shane and I are so busy. Shane's usually working, I'm usually in the farm, and we don't feel giddy. And I just wanted to feel giddy. What does that mean? Okay. First of all, true love, and I've talked about this before. True love is not a feeling, right? Like that whole giddy crap that you do when you first start dating someone, like that is not reality. Like that doesn't stay. That doesn't mean, once you've been dating someone for a period of time, that giddiness goes away and you miss it. I don't know. If you're a guy, tell me if you miss it. You know what I'm talking about? Just like that in love feeling that just is so much fun, like with dating someone new. And I honestly think that is why people get addicted to affairs because they want to feel that goo goo gaga feeling and they lose it with their spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever because all that goes away. And so like as an individual, when you want to feel that giddy feeling, people that have addiction to affairs, they like the it's not that they're addicted to, this is just my opinion, okay? It's not that they're addicted to wanting to have intercourse with someone else, or they, like it's they want to feel that feeling. They want to feel loved and they want to feel all giddy inside because it's fun. So a lot of times when we talk about addiction, we leave out the part where there's people that are addicted to having affairs. And that is a true addiction. I've seen people do it and they get stuck in that giddy, giddy feeling. Well, this weekend, I don't know, I was wanting to feel all giddy inside. I was like, so Saturday came and I was supposed to have someone here come here Saturday to deliver. She's donating a trailer for my animals to me, and she was supposed to come Saturday, but she ended up having a horse get sick and she had to take it to the vet. So she ended up not coming. Well, it was a perfect opportunity because Shane was not working. So it was a perfect opportunity for us to go on a date and me feel all giddy. For me to feel all giddy. I don't know. And I said, hey, Shane, I've got to go run some errands. Do you want to go with me? And we can go to lunch, or we might could go get some ice cream. And he's looking at me going, why does she want ice cream? Like, but in my brain, I had this expectation that Shane and I were going to go on this date like we had first started dating, and we were just going to be all fun and giddy and we get in the car. We asked Larry to go with us because often we feel guilty when we go do something and we don't ask him to tag along because he can't drive and he can't get out. So Shane and I, when we go somewhere, we don't want to just leave him at home. You know what I mean? So he came with us and we started running errands, and the giddiness was not there. It was like we go and we went to Lowe's. Let's see, where did we go first? We go to Lowe's. I'm not going to tell that. We go to Lowe's because I needed to get new blinds severely. Let me show you. I got the wooden blinds. The people that when we moved here 5 years ago, there were metal blinds up, and it was just a train wreck. So I wanted to go get wooden blinds, and so we went to Lowe's, and it wasn't like Larry wouldn't get out of the car, and so I was feeling frustrated because I was like, why won't he get out of the car? Like, why is he sitting in the car? Then Shane was just like, he's a guy. He don't really care about wooden blinds. That's not important to him. It's important to someone that likes to decorate, and he don't like to decorate. So like I started feeling frustrated because I was like, this is not going the way I wanted. I wanted to go on a date and feel all giddy inside, and I ain't feeling it. So then I felt myself, I was getting in a bad mood. And I was like, what is wrong with me? And it's hard for me to break things down and process it when I'm around people. Like my brain doesn't do that. I just stay frustrated. I can't get to that place where I need to think things through. And so the day went on, and where did we go for lunch? We went to lunch. I can't even remember where we went to lunch. Anyway, it was just blah. You know what I mean? It just wasn't good. And I thought, Shane and I never get to go on a date. And I thought in my head, this is not what I planned today. Like today was a day for Shane and I to go just enjoy ourselves. And it just went blah. And so we got home, and it was raining, I think. I can't remember. It was raining, and Shane and I were just laying on the bed talking. I think we were playing on our phones. I can't remember. And then I go to Psycho Land, and I start saying, I don't know if you do this, whether you're a girl or a guy, but when I want to feel all giddy inside, I don't feel loved. Because what happens is I get in emotional mind. Emotional mind is when you're wanting to feel a certain way. And I wasn't feeling all giddy inside, which meant that I was feeling like he didn't love me, because this is what happened. We were sitting on the bed, and it was raining outside, and we were just trying to figure out what to do because, Shane and I are not inside people. And he goes, well, what did he say? My whole day got ruined. So then it triggered me when he said my whole day got ruined, because I was wanting to feel loved and giddy inside, and I was wanting to go on a date. And then this joker sitting over here telling me that his day got ruined. And I went, so it triggered me because I was like, oh, your whole day got ruined? Well, your whole day got ruined and you spent it with me. So then it triggered me to get in a bad mood because I was like, I cannot believe this joker just said that his whole day got ruined when I was wanting to feel all giddy inside. But I didn't tell him that I was wanting to feel all giddy inside, because that doesn't make sense, right? If you look at your spouse and say, hey, I need you to make me feel all giddy inside as if we were dating, they're looking at you like you're a straight up psycho, because it's hard to explain what you're wanting to feel when you want to feel all giddy inside. because it it's hard to be all giddy inside when you've been together for 9 years. So when he said, my whole day got ruined today, he was talking about because it rained, and Shane's brain, okay, and Shane's brain, ruining his day means he got nothing accomplished in work. Like he didn't go in and work on his building, or he didn't clean up the yard, or he didn't mow the grass, because every night is the funniest thing. It's really cute, actually. Him and his dad call each other every single night, Shane and his dad. And what they do is they tell each other what they accomplished for the day. So Shane's dad will call, and Shane will answer the phone, and they sit there. What'd you do today? Well, I cleaned out the garage. I worked on the truck. I whatever. And they just tell each other every night. And it's the funniest thing to sit and watch or listen to their conversation, because they literally tell each other what they did all the day, and then they get off the phone. They don't talk about nothing else. They just talk about what they did for the day. And it's always involved in work. And if one of them says, I did absolutely nothing, then the other one goes, well, you're worthless. Why'd you do nothing? Because both of them are workaholics. I've never seen anybody like Shane and their dads. Wide open all the time, trying to get things accomplished. Shane is not a procrastinator. He is like, things are getting done around here. Like, that's how it is. So anyway, when he said that his day got ruined, that's what he was talking about, is he accomplished nothing. Well, when I'm wanting to feel all giddy inside and he tells me that his day got ruined, I am triggered. I'm like, you son of a gun. Are you kidding me? You spent the whole day with me, and now you're telling me that your day got ruined. So then I go on this tangent. Okay. I go into, what did I say? I'm trying to think what I said. This is where I got confused because I can't remember what I said, but I said something like, you don't show me any love. We never go on dates. We never get dressed up. Let me turn this. We never get dressed up and go on a date. You never call me from work and say, hey, Judy, go get a shower and get dressed. We're going somewhere. He never, like, I'm telling him this. And he's looking at me like I've got 4 horns on my head, and he is getting madder by everything that I say. And I'm like, you do not, all you care about is what you, and I'm going on this tangent. All you care about is what you accomplish, so you can call your daddy and tell him what you do. Boy, you can't tell him that you went on a date with me. I just go crazy on this tangent because, and the bottom line is, it's because I was wanting to feel this feeling and I didn't feel it. And the more he talked, the more I was getting madder. And the more I talked, he was getting madder. So then he jumps up. He jumps up and starts putting his jacket on to go outside. I said, no. We need to talk. And he goes, I'm not talking to you. Oh, then that really made me mad because he won't sit down and talk to me. So then he slams out the door mad. And I sit still. And I was like, what the crap is wrong? That joker is a train wreck today. I was like, he's getting mad for no reason at all. And he is just, I was just like, I can't get, and I start going into this, because then once like you get mad at each other, then you start thinking, all the negative things about him. You're like, he could care less about me. All he cares about is himself, and like I'm just spinning out of control. I'm totally spinning out of control. And the spinning out of control lasted a minute. And then I was like, okay, what the heck is going on? What's going on with Shane and what's going on with me? Why are we mad? Why are we not speaking? Like, what just happened? And please keep in mind that in the beginning of this, that all giddiness, I knew what I was wanting, but I didn't really think about it. I just knew that I wanted to feel all lovey-dovey and giddy inside and, "Oh, our marriage is perfect." Like, I was wanting to feel like that. So, when I got to myself, I told you I cannot process things when people are around me. I got to get by myself. So I said, "What the heck is wrong with me? And what the heck is wrong with Shane?" And at that moment, I started getting mad because I'm going to tell you something. When you start learning to process things, you get sort of frustrated and mad because you feel like you're the mature one of the relationship. And you're like, why is it always me that has to break it down and figure out what the heck is going on? Like, why can't he figure out how to be a better husband? Why does it always have to be me? It's always me, me, me. You know what I'm talking about? Like how if your spouse doesn't like apologize, like it takes him a minute or what, you just feel like when you're the mature one and pause and have to break the situation down, you find yourself frustrated because you're like, am I the only mature person around here or what? Like, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. So when I got by myself and I started breaking it down is when I realized that I wanted to be all giddy inside. In the moment, I mean, I guess it was like I was in denial. I wasn't realizing what I was wanting in this like running errand date that we were doing. I guess I didn't realize what I was needing. And so when I stopped and broke it down, I realized that what I was needing was to feel all giddy inside, and I didn't feel it. It actually was the complete opposite of what I was wanting to feel. So then once I did that, I was like, okay, why are you wanting to feel all giddy inside? What is that all about, Judy? What what is that all about? And it took me a minute to figure out what was going on with me. But I think what it is I think it's because Shane and I think it's because Shane and I are so busy all the time that we don't stop together and smell the roses. Or maybe it's I'm not seeing that we stop together and smell the roses because in the moment, I'm wanting to feel all giddy inside. So I'm wanting to feel the feeling of being an emotional mind at that moment. So when I'm wanting to feel that feeling in that moment, it's almost like everything in the past that we've done escapes me. So, like, I forget us sitting down burning trash together, talking, or I forget getting in the side by side, riding to the creek, talking about building our cabin. I forget all about that when I'm wanting to feel that feeling, that giddy feeling in the moment. It's like everything that he does do for me escapes me because I need to feel this right this minute. I don't know if y'all do that or not. And again, I don't know if this is a girl thing. I mean, I don't know if guys are not really emotional usually. It's usually the woman that's emotional. So if you're a guy watching me right now, you're like, "Oh yeah, my wife drives me crazy with that crap." Because women are all about emotions. Men are not. They're not in tune with their emotions. A lot of men refuse to cry or they sure don't want to feel all giddy inside. That's not usually a man thing that they want to feel loved. Um, so I was like, what is this all about? What am I needing? And I sat there and I was like, I sit here and get the preaching stick out all the time and say, do not depend on your spouse for your happiness. You know how I preach that? I get this old preaching stick out and I'm like, do not depend on a man. You're putting a lot of pressure on your spouse, whether you're a man or a woman, when you sit here and depend on your spouse for your happiness. I say that all the time, but that don't mean I do it. I might go to preaching, but sometimes I don't practice what I preach. Okay. So when I was trying to figure out what I need, I realized that what I was needing is I was really just needing Shane to hug me and just tell me everything was going to be okay. Because I've had so much going on with my farm and Larry, and like my farm not being that busy. Last year I was wide open with field trips. Like it was field trip, like huge 100-kid field trips every single day in the spring last year. It was wide open. And this year it is not. So I guess I've been feeling like, what have I done wrong? Kind of feeling like, what happened? What am I doing wrong? It's like, I'm trying to figure out how to survive in this nonprofit farm. And it's like, when I start making money, let's just say on social media, then my field trips drop off. So then I don't really make money because it's just like so hard. When you own a business, you get me. It is so hard to figure things out and constantly be trying to figure out how to pay your bills and stay afloat and all the things that happen when you own a business. It is so difficult. This is when I get triggered about my dad not being here, my real dad, because my dad owned a business his whole life. And what happens is when I start processing what's going on with me and I start breaking things down and going, why are you wanting to feel all giddy inside? And I think what was happening is several things. I feel like I'm feeling the emotion of the stress of running a nonprofit farm and making sure that I'm doing everything right and trying to market. And I don't really, marketing is just on social media, trying, to get field trips or whatever so that I can accomplish what I need to accomplish financially. And I think that I was just feeling the stress of all that and then going, how am I supposed to, how am I supposed to run a business when I'm trying to take care of my dad? And like, it just feels overwhelming. It feels overwhelming because I'm going to tell you something. Majority of the time that I spend on my farm these days, it's not cleaning. It's like I don't have time to clean because I'm too busy being in the house taking care of other things. And so I find myself feeling like it's almost like I don't have time to do the things that I need to do. Like, for example, I want to go to group homes. I want to go to sober living facilities. Like, I want to get out of the house and go visit these places to tell them who I am because I want to be free to these people. I want them to know who I am and know that I'm a comfortable place for them to land. That's my goal. It's really not to do field trips for public schools or group home. I mean, for homeschools. That's not my desire. My desire is to move towards sober living facilities and group homes and domestic shelters and all these places. That's my desire. My desire is to break even with social media so that I can be free and I don't have to do all these field trips and all this stuff for the public schools because and homeschools, because it is when I do those field trips, it's a fundraiser basically for me to be able to break even with my farm. It's just basically what I was needing from Shane was just for him to hold me and tell me that I'm doing a good job, or it's going to be okay. Like, we're not going to drown, because many a times, that my fear is being homeless. And so I will listen, from not having field trips and not making any income. I have dreams that I have to get rid of my animals. And I will wake up and like my fear just overpowers me. And listen, it's not, I think this is every farmer's nightmare. We're scared to death of failing, because what happens, especially with a petting zoo, is we are very attached to our animals. So we are trying to kill ourselves to make this farm happen and not go backwards, because we are in fear of, oh my gosh, I've got to get rid of my chickens. I'm not going to be able to afford this chicken food. What am I going to do? It is every farmer's fear of failing, because farms, it's almost like farms do not get considered a job. So we have a lot of stress on us, on top of being a business, on top of making sure I'm running my nonprofit right, on top of, because a lot of times I'm fairly new to being a nonprofit. And a part of me goes, okay, I'm not really sure how this works. How does nonprofits make it? Like these how you like see like a rabbit rescue or a pig rescue or a dog rescue that are nonprofits. I'm like, how the heck do you make it? Like, I want to go interview these people and go, how do you survive? But see, I see, like, my cousin, for example, she has a dog rescue, and I sit and watch her. And it's like she has to beg for money all the time. She has to have yard sales. She has to do t-shirt fundraisers. She has to do on Facebook and, uh, what's it called? A fundraiser on Facebook and beg for money. Like, nonprofits have to beg for money. And see, it's hard for me because I don't feel comfortable doing that. When I do a fundraiser, it's usually because someone's helping me survive my nonprofit, and they're like, Judy, you have to do a fundraiser. And I'm like, but I don't feel comfortable doing I feel like I need to work myself to provide for my farm. They're like, Judy, you're a nonprofit. And then, like, when I try to, for example, apply for a grant, they're like, but you charge for field trips. Well, how the heck am I supposed to do this? Like, someone sit me down and explain to me, how am I supposed to run my farm and be nonprofit? And it's just, it causes me a lot of stress. And the moment with me and Shane and me wanting to feel all giddy inside, it was as if I was having anxiety over having a business, trying to run it, trying to pay for things, trying to take care of my dad, it's like, it's just like your brain is just on overload. And I realized that all the giddiness that I was wanting to feel, it was like I was wanting to escape the stress of trying to own your own business. I was wanting for one day to go out, because I don't get out of my house a lot. I don't. If I get out of my house, it's simply because I need to go get feed. I'm not I'm not a shopper. I don't even go to the grocery. I do grocery delivery because it gives me anxiety to go into the grocery store. I'm not a shopper. I'm not. If I need new clothes, I'm shopping online. I'm not going to the store. And I think I was just wanting to escape the stress of trying to survive. I think. And so I was putting that pressure on Shane, going, I need you to fix it. I need you to fix this stress inside me and hug me and tell me it's okay. But see, I didn't say that to him. I just made the assumption that we were going to go on this errand run and fall in love and feel all giddy inside. And Shane doesn't understand that. He's a guy. Most guys don't understand that. And he's not going to understand it when I don't say it to him. So when he said, I've ruined my whole day, I was like, oh, he did not just say that. He did. He did not just say that to me. But see, when he walked away and I broke it down, he didn't like what he meant was he didn't accomplish any work around the farm. That's important to Shane because he has to call his dad to tell his dad what he did for the day. Okay. And his dad was going to call and he's going to go, I literally accomplished nothing but spending $300 on wooden blinds and going in debt. We going to lunch. Oh, we went to Buffalo's. We went to lunch. We spent $65. We spent $150 on stupid blinds, and I accomplished nothing but went in debt all day. And my brain wasn't there. My brain was like, oh, we want to be so in love. Like, I just want to feel like he thinks that he has, I don't know, won the lottery by being married to me. I mean, really, I was really wanting to feel that. So I think when I broke it down, I was wanting him to come back and apologize to me because Shane is not a person who apologizes. He kind of thinks he's always right, to be honest. And I get mad because I feel like I'm the one that has to go to therapy to make this marriage work. Because if it wasn't for me, do y'all ever do this? If it wasn't for me, this marriage would be a train wreck because he don't know how to break crap down. He flies by the seat of his pants. He doesn't get it. And so I was feeling a little frustrated about being the mature one, But I stopped for a minute and I had mercy on Shane and went, okay, first of all, this whole giddiness, Judy, is a feeling. You're in emotional mind, which gets you in trouble. Judy, you know your emotions get you in trouble. Because if you don't learn how to balance your emotions, you will do what I did this weekend. And you will cause your spouse to be mad because you're wanting to feel giddy inside. And your spouse doesn't understand that because you've been married for 9 years. Like they don't get it. Okay. And so I had to sit and think about being an emotional mind and how dangerous that is for me because I want to feel it. I don't feel love. I need you to be excited about being married to me. Like, don't you get it? That is emotional mind. When we talk about emotional mind, it will get you in trouble. And I tell you all the time about balance. Part of balance is your emotions. I forgot to go live on Instagram. Part of being balanced is understanding your emotional mind because emotional mind, you will get yourself in so much trouble being an emotional mind, wanting to feel a feeling. I do it all the time. I think out of everything on my balance part, like physical balance, emotional balance, spiritual balance, and mental balance, I feel like I'm pretty strong with mental, which you would think that would be my biggest weakness is mental because I fight depression, but it's not. My biggest problem is my emotional mind because I want to feel it. I'm that person that wants to feel it. You're not making me feel the way I need to feel. Don't you get it? You're not you're not making me feel this way. And right now, I need you to make me feel loved. Well, Judy, I go to work every flipping day, and most of the time I'm working 7 days a week. Well, that's not the feeling I need to feel. I'm needing to feel a different feeling. That's a understood love. You know what I'm saying? Like someone going to work every day, like that's a given. We all have to do that, right? To survive. Like that doesn't mean you love me because you go to work. And he's like, oh, it doesn't. And I'm like, no, I'm stuck in emotional line because Shane going to work every day is saying he loves me because I basically, from before I had this farm, he didn't want me to work. He wanted me to stay home. Most men would only say that if there was a child involved. Like, I want you to stay home with our child. I don't want you to put our child in daycare. Okay. My kids are almost 30. Okay. So there's no child at home for me to stay home. And Shane wants me to stay home. When we first got married, um, I moved to Gulf Shores. So I was in a new place. So I didn't have a job to go to because I was totally new. And he's like, I don't want you to work. And I'm like, what? What? You know, I'm like, well, okay, you paying all the bills. I'll sit home and eat bonbons. Like, what the heck? Then all of a sudden, Larry got sick and moved in with us. And then my life totally changed because it got to where because Larry was going to the doctor a lot and we had home health coming into the house, and Larry had just moved to South Alabama to be with us. And I didn't know what was going on. His dementia started. It was just so like things were a little crazy. So I was very grateful to Shane for allowing me to stay home with Larry. That's how much he loves me and Larry. He's like, I'll go to work. You take care of your dad. That's love. But see, when I'm stuck in emotional mind, that's not love. Oh, you're just going to work because we have to pay the bills. That ain't love. When I'm stuck in an emotional mind, I forget. You remember me telling you in the beginning of this how when I'm stuck in emotional mind, I forget about the things that he does that shows me love because I'm stuck in emotional mind and I need to feel it. I need to feel all giddy inside. I forget that it escapes me when I'm stuck in, don't you understand? I'm sick. I just want you to love me and tell me it's going to be okay. That's emotional mind. You need to be aware of when you're in emotional mind because your emotions will play tricks on you. Your emotions, when you're feeling like you want to be all giddy inside with your spouse and he shows me no attention, all he does is sit and clean the house, or he goes into his shop and he pays me no attention. You're in emotional mind because you have to stop and break it down and say, okay, how does this man or woman love me? How does my wife show me love? What does she, because right now I'm in this emotional mind needing a certain thing from my spouse that I cannot get. And you will lie to yourself and tell yourself that your spouse does not love you because all she does is get on her daggum cell phone and out there recording. She shows me no attention. Oh, she has that cell phone in her hand 24/7, or she's out playing golf with the girls and she pays me no, all she cares about is going to the golf course. She don't have fun with me. All she does when she's at home, all she does is sit and read a book or play a puzzle. That's all she does. She doesn't show me no attention at all. And then your brain, you're like, he shows me no attention. All he does is sit and drink coffee and watch TV all day long. He shows me no attention at all. You're in emotional mind. You're needing to feel a feeling. And your spouse can't make you feel that feeling. So then you feel like your marriage is a train wreck. And you feel like Oh, I forgot I got new. Oh, shoot. I got new concealer. I forgot. Um, you're stuck in emotional mind needing to feel a feeling, and that's a lot of pressure for your spouse when you need them to make you feel a certain way. It's hard because oftentimes we want to feel we want to okay, like, let's forget spouse, let's just talk about if you're a grown adult and you have adult children. I saw this post this morning, and it was talking about how when you send your grown children a text message, I can't remember what it says, something like, I love you so much. I'm like, the mom or the dad is saying, I love you so much. I miss you and I hope you're doing okay. And they respond, I'm okay. And you're like, that is not what I was needing. That is totally not the text message I wanted to get back. Because it's almost as if you're talking to someone who's blowing you off. Because all they respond to is, I'm okay. And they're blowing you off. What are you needing when you send your grown children a message? I love you so much. I miss seeing you. I hope you're doing well. What are you trying to tell them? And all they respond is, I'm okay. You're like, that is not what I was needing to hear. That was a cold bust right in the face. Like they could give two craps about me, because you start telling yourself that. Okay, they could literally care less about me. If you broke that down, does your kids care? They don't care about you, really? Like, you've gone to that extreme because they text, I'm okay, and didn't say, Mother, you're the best mom in the whole wide world. Gosh, I don't know what I would do without you. That's probably what we were needing. And all they responded with was, I'm okay. And you're like, listen, can we rephrase that? Because what I was needing is, I was needing to feel like I was the rock star mom, and all you respond is, I'm okay. How about you checking on me every now and then? You go to outer space because you're in emotional mind and you're wanting to feel a feeling. You're wanting your kids to tell you that they love you, or that you're the best dad ever, or mom, whatever. You're wanting them, if you will stop and break that down, because when you first get the text message from your kid that says that, oh, you got your feelings hurt. You're like, they don't want to talk to me. They could care less. You start telling yourself that they could care less about me. They could care less. I could be over here in my house dead and they would never know it. Like, I would be dead for 3 days and my kids would never, like, you go to total outer space because you didn't get what you needed to get from their text message. That is emotional mind. And when you're in emotional mind, you totally lie to yourself. But you have to understand that your feelings are valid. Okay? What you're feeling is what you're feeling. But you got to figure out where the feeling is coming from and what you're actually needing, and you got to fix it yourself. You can't depend on your children or your spouse to fix that feeling. And the whole thing with me needing Shane to hug me and tell me, like, I want you to make me feel giddy inside, basically, you have to break it down, and you've got, okay, like Sue, you just said, mine don't talk to me. Oh, let's see, mine don't even talk to me. Okay, your kids don't talk to you. Okay. So you're in emotional mind going, my kids could care less about me. They don't talk to me. They never text me, whatever. They don't care about me. Okay. How do you get out of emotional mind? Like, you're needing your kids to call and check on you. You're needing your kids to love you. You're needing your kids to give you that you were a great mom and you didn't fail them. Like you did everything you could do to raise them the best way you can, and you feel like they think maybe they think you failed them. Let's just say. Can you fix the way your kids think about you? Sue, I need you to answer me. Can you force your kids to call you? Can you force your kids to text you back? Can you? I'm waiting on you to respond. Diane, you're right. You can't. And it sucks being a parent of kids that are not, quote, involved in your life, or you feel like they don't care or they don't want to talk to you or whatever. It's tough. It's tough. But at the end of the day, all you can do is fix you. So you have to fix your emotional mind. I got to see what you're saying, Sue. Okay. You can't fix that your daughter or your son doesn't, I think you said she, you can't fix that she doesn't want to talk to you. You can't. And it's allow yourself to grieve because it sucks. When I'm just going to tell you right now that Shane and I are dealing with the same thing with one of our children. Totally cut us off. And we have no idea why. And it hurts. Often Shane and I will cry and get upset over it. It is the worst thing ever. When you have because you're in your mind, Sue, I don't know how old you are, but in your mind, it's hard for us to think about not talking to our parent. Like Larry, for example, I can't imagine cutting him off and just not coming to see him, not calling. Like my brain doesn't work like that. But if you go back to when you were 20 something, 30 something years old, what were you doing, Sue? Did you understand the importance of your parents when you were 25 years old? What were you doing? Were you out partying? Were you were you in a train wreck marriage? Like your parents tried to talk you into, not marrying this person because they were a train wreck, and you're like, Mom, don't tell me what to do. When you've got to go back to their age. You know what I'm saying? And when you go back to their age, I'll just tell you, like my kids, I'll just talk about my older son. My older son will be 27 in May. And sometimes Shane and I'll go, our kids are a total train wreck when it comes to me and Shane. Half the time, we don't get a birthday present. We don't get a Christmas present. Mother's Day comes and no one comes to see me. And I get my feelings hurt, Sue. It breaks my heart because I'm like, when it's their birthday, I bust my tail to get them the nicest gift in the world. But when it comes to my birthday, they just skip on out. And they're like, happy birthday, Mom. Never come to see me. And Sue, my feelings get hurt so bad, especially with the kid that right now that's kind of distanced towards us. But it seems like as soon as Shane and I have 4 children total together. And it's like once we get a good relationship with one kid, then the other one gets mad at us. And I'm like, can't they all 4 be like us at the same time? I don't know why, but they can't. And like a mom's dream is for all her kids to be in the living room together and be happily ever after. That's our passion for our children. We desire all of our children to be in the same room at the same time. Listen, me too. The happiest I will ever be is when all 4 of our kids are in the living room with my grandson and we're all smiling, loving each other. But that usually happens when we're giving gifts. And that is it. When we're giving gifts. And it's but if I go back to when I was their age, I was doing the same thing they were doing. So like I have to be gentle on them because they just they just don't know yet. And I didn't know at their age. So Shane and I have to be patient and wait for them to mature some and just stay in our own lane. And Sue, the only person you can fix is you. So I'm going to tell you what I have experienced. The more that I fix me, the more they sit on the sidelines and watch. Because if your child is not talking to you, it might be that, I mean, maybe you did something when they were young and they can't forgive you. Okay. But at some point in life, you have to have forgiveness, right? Like when you're a parent, you do the very best you can. And you make so many mistakes, it is not even funny. And so many times I can sit here and go, wow, I totally jacked their life up because I was married more than once. And when I divorced their dad, I took them away from their dad. And like you could sit here and name all the crap you did wrong, but there's a lot of crap that you did right, right? There's a lot. And you're like, I just want you to see the good things that I did. When they start having children of their own and start going through the steps that you've already been through, they're going to get you because they're going to make a lot of mistakes with their children. Because you did, and they will. But at the end of the day, all you can do is fix you. And Sue, how do you be happy when your children are not talking to you? Let me tell you something. I deal with it. It's difficult. I miss one of our child so much. Oh my gosh. Miss them. We haven't seen them since September. Miss them. Oh my gosh. Miss them like crazy, but I can't force a relationship with someone that shuts us out. All Shane and I can do is fix us. And when the time comes and they're ready to rekindle the relationship, you're healed and you're not holding grudges. You're not holding judgment. Keep fixing you, Sue. Keep mending your broken heart and keep yourself in your own lane. Allow them to write their own story because they're writing their own story just like you wrote your own story when you were their age. And even if you're like, no, my kids are not in their 20s. My kids are way older than their 20s. They know, but they should know better. Sometimes it takes a while. You can't force a relationship on anybody, even your own child. You can't. But you might find yourself as you're going through this healing process of your child not talking to you, you might find yourself an emotional mind. And you might find yourself going, okay, today I'm going to send them a text because I do this. I'm going to send them a text message today and everything's going to be better. Everything's going to be better. You're setting yourself up for failure. Just to tell you, I do it over and over and over again. I'm like, okay, today's going to be better. Today I'm going to send a text message and it's going to be like normal. And it's not. You're on their schedule. You're not on yours. All you can do is sit quiet, Sue. Sue, sit quiet and keep working on your health. Work on your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, and your emotional health. Be strong because there'll be a day they come back. Just to let you know. And you need to make sure you have got complete healing before, because you might find yourself resentful when they come back. You haven't spoke to me in 3 flipping years. And now you gonna come back. You can't do that. Go fix your broken heart. And Sue, I know your heart is broken because mine is too. And just know that I'm in your shoes and I know what it feels like. and it is hard. And so many times when I reach out, my heart breaks all over again. And then I find myself saying the wrong thing because I'm so mad. And I realize that I need to continue to work on me. So work on you. Work on you. Do y'all understand what emotional mind is now? Am I explaining it? Am I explaining? Do you find yourself in emotional mind? And you see how toxic emotional mind is? And understand something. I want to make sure that I explain this right. So, a feeling is valid. Your feelings are valid. Your feelings are what you feel. That is normal. That is normal to feel a certain way. What is not normal is to stay there. Like, for example, I'm wanting to feel all giddy inside and I stay there for weeks. And then I'm feeling that Shane does not love me at all. And then I'm sitting here telling myself lies because I'm stuck in emotional mind. That's when emotional mind gets toxic. A feeling is not, the way you feel is not wrong. Your feelings are valid. Allow yourself to feel, just don't allow yourself to stay in the feeling, because that's when you get into emotional mind. Your feelings are not wrong. Like, it hurts that my child is not talking to me. It does. And often you're going to revisit that feeling because it's awful. It's awful. Because you said you're 60 something. At that age is when you need your kids. You need to help you take care of you, because your health, like me at 53, my health is starting to decline a little bit, like my physical health. My back hurts all the time. My sciatic nerve hurts on my neck. Oh my God. And you feel yourself kind of declining. You're like, my kids don't even care. It's because your kids are not mature enough to understand right now. They're not. And I don't know why they don't come around. I know sometimes I find myself complaining a lot when my kids come around, especially about my brother. I told you guys about my brother. I find myself telling my kids all the time about the pain that I feel from my brother, and they don't want to hear it. They do not want to hear it. And I realize that I keep going to them wanting them to, I don't know if I want them to feel sorry for me because I've lost my brother. I don't know what I want them to feel. But like, I'm going to them for the wrong reasons. So you need to realize, like, when your kids do come around, are you complaining a lot? Are you like, my back's killing me, I had to go because as an elderly person, my age included, I don't know if you consider me elderly. I guess I'm middle-aged. Like, when we call, like, aunts and uncles that are older or parents, we get a rundown of their doctor's appointments. That's what we get. And we're like, they are so hooked on the daggum doctor. Like, all we hear is about their doctor's appointments. But see, that's what their life consists of right now. And see, we don't understand that because we don't run to the doctor every couple of minutes. But if you think about it, like Larry does. So, like, when people come over to talk to Larry, he's talking about his cancer and he's talking about his dementia and he's on home health and they're forcing him to do oxygen. So when people come to visit, that's all he talks about. He's not talking about anything positive. He's talking about all the negative. So if you are a person that is like that, like you're going to the doctor a lot because you have a lot of physical elements, realize, how I remember my mom telling me this. You know how when someone asks you how you're doing? Okay, if I said, Hi, Patty. How are you? Oh, I'm doing terrible. Let me just tell you. Last week, and you go into this tangent about like when someone asks you, how are you doing? All they want to hear is, I'm doing well. Things are going really good. That's what people want to hear. If you ask, if people ask how you are, and you start going, well, I had to go to the doctor 3 times last week. My back's hurting. I have COPD. They're forcing me to do oxygen. Every time I turn around, I'm having to go to the doctor. It sucks getting old. People don't want to hear that. Is terrible. When they ask you, how are you doing? You expect them to really care about how you're doing, but they want to hear, I'm doing well. Kids are doing good. But they don't want to hear, well, my brother's in jail. My dad has cancer. I'm trying to balance my farm and home life. They don't want to hear that. You got to remember that. If somebody really wants to know how you're doing, they would go, hey, how are you? And you would say, oh, I'm doing fine. Now, how are you really doing? How are you really doing? Let's sit down. I'm going to call you this evening and we're going to talk. That's when they really want to know how you're doing, is when they take the time to go, I'm going to call you tonight. How are you doing? But when your kids come over and you're like talking about all your sickness, it's like I can hear my kids saying this now. I literally can hear all mom does is talk about her brother. Like, oh my gosh, her brother's in jail. Her brother this, her brother that. Oh my God. Every time I go to the house, that's all she talks about. That's what we do. When we start getting of age, that's what we do, because the pain hurts us so bad and we think they want to know how we're really feeling. But see, my kids have not lost their brother. My kids have not dealt with that per se. So they don't quite understand what it's like. I hope that I've said some things that, oh my Lord, I'm talking a lot. I have a field trip today, and it started off with 36 people and it's down to like, I think 10 or 13 people now. First of all, it's freezing cold outside and it's a homeschool, and a lot of them got the stomach virus. And I guess I don't know how homeschools work. Maybe they go to class together or something and they all got the stomach virus. So my field trip went from 36 to, let's just say, 10. So Um, that's what I got going on today. I don't think Dee Dee's pregnant, to be honest. I'm just kidding. Uh, I think I had, for those people that said I wasn't a farmer, I think I sure have her day pegged April 12th. just say, just saying. For someone that's not a farmer. um, it looks like I might have been right from day one. Uh, a lot of people have asked about Shishi. I don't know if I have my numbers right, but I have that she's due on my birthday, which is April 27th. Don't forget, Thursday is Kayla's birthday. So we're going live Thursday morning. So grab your coffee and go get you a Danish or something to celebrate Kayla's birthday. We're going to talk about what we were doing in 1989, which is when she was born. And I said I was getting drunk smoking cigarettes. So I don't know what, I was 17 years old when Kayla was born. So I want you to think about what you were doing in 1989. And I want you to share a story with Kayla about what you were doing in 1989 when she was in the hospital being born. Because she's a youngster. She's a lot younger than most of us. Let's just put it that way. But won't that be fun? So be thinking about a story to share with Kayla, and we'll all talk about what we were doing then. All right, guys. It's time to get a field trip started. I need to go to Ulta and get some hairspray because I don't have any hairspray. But I usually have to put my hair up because half these animals eat my hair. Y'all know that. All right, today's Monday, right? I hope that I said something that is did I forget something, Diane? Where'd it go? You know Shane works at Tyson's Food, Diane. Um anyway, just remember this whole week you have choices. When your kids come over, you talk about the pod. When you change yourself and change your emotions and change your mind and don't expect a reaction out of your kids because you're in an emotional mind and you need to hear, Mom, you are a rock star. Okay, listen, you are a rock star. When you're wanting to hear that, I need you to come to our live and we'll tell you you're a rock star. Okay, because you are a rock star, but I need you to go look in the mirror and know who you are as a person and not need to hear it from your children. You know you're a good mom. Okay. Don't get in emotional mind and expect people to feel your needs because you're going to find yourself in trouble. And what's going to happen is you're going to be sitting it out and not dancing. Okay. So, in order to dance, you need to go look in the mirror today, Sue, and tell yourself who you are and tell yourself what you need to work on to fix you so that one day when your children do call, you're healed from it all and you've got a big fat smile on your face and you got your arms out. That's dancing, Sue. So you keep dancing every morning. You get up and put those dancing shoes on, even though they're not talking to you. I'm doing the same thing, Sue. I'm in your shoes. Keep on keeping on. Fix you. I love you. I'll see y'all next time. I'll see you Wednesday, and then we're going to see you Thursday for Kayla's birthday. Love you. Bye.